Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's again your boy John. We're out here at CT Tactical in Scottsdale just working on a little bit of practice. Today, maybe in future weeks, we'll talk about some of my practice regimen. But today, I just want to work a little bit with you and encourage you next time you go out to the range to work on your low ready shots on target. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. Hey, lots of ways to do this. You can absolutely do this in dry fire as well, okay? So your Monday dry fire videos, you can work this in dry fire. You just have to be incredibly honest about what you're doing. Remember, almost all of our gains we make in dry fire, then we come out here to the range and we verify in live fire. Really, the only thing that live fire does for us that we just can't get in dry fire is recoil control, right? So what we're gonna work on today is we're gonna work on the low ready position. So we're gonna work on how long does it take us? Because again, if I need a gun in hand, let's just say I have a brooding threat, not an immediate deadly threat, but a burgeoning threat. Somebody that is crazy, acting crazy. Let's say I'm here at C2 and I walk outside and, it's Scottsdale. And Scottsdale people are nuts. And there's a dude out there raving and ranting around. He's got a knife in his hands and threatening people. And I may not be ready to shoot him right this second, but I want a gun in my hand so that I do. But again, I don't point guns at people that I am not actually shooting. We always keep our firearms pointed in the direction of least consequence. And pointing a gun at somebody that does not need to be shot immediately is a high consequence direction. This is why we use a low ready position. Now, what's a low ready position? A low ready position comes down from the target such that it wouldn't shoot that target. Now, you might say, okay, I want to point it at the feet of the target. Okay, fine, you could do that if you want. What we're going to do here in this case is we're going to be using our ASP target over on the left, and I'm going to come to the bottom of the target and then off of it to the left or the right. So that has that idea is that instead of pointing here, I'm pointing here. I'm pointing off and away from him, that if God forbid I had a negligent discharge, it would miss him, right? And it would go away from him. One of the things is that sometimes if we just go to here, well then if I shoot him here, there's lots of things that are bad here about shooting him, right? And so I'm just gonna come, again, down far enough to be away from that and just off of it, which means I'm gonna come up at a diagonal in order to get my hit. And I wanna do so in as quick a manner as I can, because if that threat emerges, right, one of the reasons that we'd want this is, say we did have somebody who was a knife wielder who was threatening but not charging, right? We're gonna stand here at 7 yards. Everybody knows the Tulip Principle. That's a perp can cover 21 feet in 1.5 seconds, which is that average time for an officer from an open carry, to get his gun out and get a shot. So of course, the principle of the Tulip Principle is move your feet. That's what it says. It's not saying it's get faster with your gun. It's move your feet. Give yourself some more time. Okay, get off the X. That's what the principle is. And of course, nobody gets more mad about that than Mr. Tuller about how people have misappropriated his findings. So what we're going to see though here is from a low ready position, if I have the gun out and in my hands, I can get up and get a shot on him in half that or less. I can get one .7, .6, .5 if I'm really moving. Let's find out. All right, clear that. Very good. Okay. Draw our gun, see our sights, everything is good there. We have load and we have 6 or 7 shots to go. Okay, so let's get that from that low ready position. Okay, got a good hit in the 10 ring, and that was a .51 on that. And again, a perfectly good hit. So let's get another one. Oh, no, bad timer. Okay, so I have to review and do that. This timer's weird, man. So I'm gonna tell you how I'm cheating this, but it's a real life cheat that you can do all the time. So we'll see how that goes. I wanna also recognize, hard for you to see here, but my finger is high and in home base. So for me, my home base is my takedown lever here, my slide release on this side. It's got a great home for my trigger finger. That's where it's living until such time as I get a beep. Okay, right on the edge of the 8 ring. It's but a 9 hit, and that's perfectly acceptable. That's the kind of accuracy we want, .48. Let's try it another one. Okay, an 8-ring hit as well, .49. Let's see if I can get one a little faster. I'm confirming a little bit here. Okay, that was probably about as quick as I can. Again, an 8-ring hit, just fine, 4-1. So about 4-1 is probably as fast as I'm going to be able. I am aiming. I'll show you real quick so you can see it. Is that my gun is aimed here. Okay, my gun is aimed here. It's down here away from the target. Now I am cheating, and how am I cheating? This is one of the glories of the pistol-mounted optic. You see. Because one of the things that I'm able to do here with a pistol-mounted optic, so when people say, well, the optic is slower at short distance, not in this particular instance. I don't think it's shorter at all, or slower at all. But even in this instance, it's even better. And the reason for that is when my gun is out and in front of my face, I can lower it in such a way that in my peripheral vision, I still have my dot in the peripheral vision. So I know where my gun is pointed. Whereas with iron sights, because they're out of my foveal vision, I can't see where the gun is pointed with any degree of accuracy. So what I'm doing here is I am, if you're the target, right, I won't point a gun at you here, but if I'm here and I'm looking down and I'm seeing there's an optic down here, there's my green circle. I run a circle only on mine. So there's my green optic. So all I got to do is just bring the gun up. The optic floats forward into it. I keep that optic where I want it and let it fly when the optic comes in. And I can get hits, and you saw them, .41, and get A-zone hits at 7 yards. And of course, that means the second, he starts coming, it takes me about, if I say, hey, that guy charges me, the second he starts charging, I'm going to shoot him. So then that says, oh, okay, when the beep happens, I see him start, takes me a quarter second to go, there he comes, pop. So then it only took me another 1/1500ths to move that gun and to get a hit. He's not covering that 21 feet. So if I've got that kind of distance, this is a very useful defensive skill to have. So one of the other ways that we can do that is we can add verbal commands. And have a friend who's running the timer on, when they're ready, instead of, having to set up, delay starts and all those things like we do on this. But I think from a low ready position, if you shoot from the low ready, you will find that you have really, really good times. And so this is one of the reasons that I really like the low ready position and why it's useful in a defensive context. Get out and practice it, would you?